Welcome everyone and welcome to another episode of the Business Hour here on Unity FM. I'm your host Umar Rashid. Firstly, hope you are well, hope you are safe, hope you are warm, comfortable. It has been pretty chilly over the last week or so. Now if you're tuning in for the first time and wondering what the show is all about, well, this is a show where we talk about all things business and we give you value through our amazing guests who come on and provide their expertise, their knowledge. They share their business journey, their lessons, and hopefully to inspire you, motivate you, and hopefully make your business journey that little bit more easier. So whether you're new to business, whether you're thinking about going into business, whether you're someone who's been in business for a while or even an employee, then this show is definitely worth a listen. Now, if for whatever reason you haven't listened to the show previously, you can do so on my YouTube channel at Umar Rashid HR. Please also connect with me on other social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Again, the handle for all of those is at Umar Rashid HR. Now, today's guest is someone who is a business owner with an award-winning insurance company. He's a national director for Pathway to Grow. He's also a co-founder of an award-winning networking event, Chutney and Chat. He's an executive board member with the Institute of Directors. He's the president of the Equality Council UK. He's an ambassador for Koi Sports. He's also a business mentor at Wolverhampton Uni, and very recently he's also now dipped into the world of politics. Today's guest is none other than Abid Khan. Brother Abid, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Wa alaikum salam. Thank you for having me, Umar.
No, absolute pleasure to have you on. Abid, I've also missed out actually that you've also got a doctorate for global peace from the UN as well.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Now I have to ask, because on top of that, you've got a family, you're also a husband, you're also a father. Yeah. So I have to ask you, how do you find the time to do what you do?
First of all, thank you for having me, Umar. You know what, honestly, it's a pleasure. I've listened to your show and I think it's brilliant. You get good quality people on, and there's a lot of value from the show. In terms of doing what I do, I'm very fortunate, alhamdulillah. Everything I do just kind of fits into everything. Yeah, this new path that I've just chosen, that I've just got into the political arena, that's a bit different to what I'm used to. But everything else just fits into my daily routine. So networking, as you know, we're connecting people all day long, which feeds my insurance business. IOD, again, is about connecting people, again, feeds back into my insurance business. President of the Equality Council, I feel we need to give something back to the community. We need to be up to date with current issues, current affairs. So something like that is very important to learn yourself. Actually, it's actually a great way of me learning of what's currently going on. And then Koi Sports, again, is about connecting people and engaging with people. So I'm very fortunate. Everything I do just fits into each other, and at some point in the day, I do go home.
I should hope so. So I mean, when you were growing up, did you actually think about, I'm going to go into business, I'm going to possibly go into politics, or what did you actually dream about when you was growing up?
I'm an Asian, and every Asian boy's dream is to become a pilot.
Okay, that wasn't my dream.
Then I had a dream of becoming a policeman, and then I actually graduated as a teacher, RE.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so definitely not the routes that you've gone down.
Not at all. I graduated as a teacher. I worked for 2 weeks, resigned, and here we are today.
Okay. Now, before here we are today, somewhere down the line, I know boxing was something that was important to you. You've gone into boxing, or share us about that.
Boxing, I started as a kid. I was very very active, bit of a naughty lad. But boxing I fell into at the age of 30, and it was simply because I was at a point where I was crazily obese. I was extremely fat. And I just woke up one day, I thought, right, okay, something needs to change. Mm-hmm. And you know me well, that when I take on something, I take it to the extremes. So I started training and going to the gym, and it became unhealthy actually, to the extreme where I became anorexic, and I had to have counselling for anorexia.
Yeah.
And the elders used to say to me, you shouldn't take drugs, because I looked like a druggie. The truth was I wasn't eating. I would go days and days and days without consuming anything. That's the extreme that I took it to. And when people used to meet me and say that you look ill, I used to actually like that compliment. I used to take it as a compliment, because it felt like whatever I was doing was working. And I was training one day with my personal trainer, and one of his mates, who's a boxer, he came into the gym just to visit him, and he took me on the pads, and he says, you know what, there's potential here. Why don't you come and join my gym? Being, the lad that I was, very physical, very, I thought, yeah, let's try it. So I went down, and I'll tell you what, brilliant. But when I started boxing, then I started my diet, how I started eating, because when you're training for boxing, you burn...
It's a certain discipline, isn't it? You've
It's
got to be very
discipline,
disciplined.
but you burn so many calories, and the training regime for boxing is like unreal. And then when I started boxing, things started changing for me mentally. It gives you confidence. My mindset changed. That as a result improved my business, improved me as a person. So yeah, there's many lessons, and I speak about that regularly now. I was at the Excel Arena last week speaking, from the boxing ring to the boardroom, and all the lessons that you learn in the boxing ring, which you can then implement into your business. But there's a certain maturity that comes, there's an age where you learn things. So yeah, I fell into it at the right time. Maybe late, maybe, I could have been, I don't know, Amir Khan or something, but I love it. I love it. 17 fights later, I still look for any excuse to get into a fight. I fight for charity now, but I absolutely love it.
So when you say 17 fights, at what level? I mean, was it just
No, is
local
that
gym
pro?
fights? Or?
No. It was pro. It was pro. I had 17 fights. I drew one. I won 16, and then I got too old.
Okay.
They won't give me a license.
Oh, so there's actually an age afterwards that
they
you
won't give
can't.
me a license.
Okay.
So then after that, I just carried on doing white collar. Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Amazing. So you started off in the boxing ring, and then you just mentioned there that you then moved into, from the boxing ring to the boardroom sort of thing. So you what I'm fascinated with, because this is how I met you when I started my business. I met you through the whole world of networking, and you was very much advocating networking, and you still very much advocate networking sort of thing. But before we get onto that, how did you find networking? At what stage did you think, actually, for my business, I need business networking?
I started my business before boxing. Okay, I started business at a very young age. It's been 20 years now, so I'm 46. I started my business.
Don't look it, mashallah.
I started my business in my 20s, and being Asian, I was the man. I knew everything. I got the briefcase, got the Mercedes, got the suit, but I didn't get the clients. I was very fortunate though, because whilst I was at university, I was working as a taxi driver, which then I developed, and I opened up my own taxi base. So Falcon Cars in Birmingham today, one of the biggest bases, I actually founded that in the year 2000. So when I transitioned, when I graduated and taught, and then transitioned into insurance, the whole taxi insurance piece just came to me automatically, organically. The clients all knew me because I worked with them for many years. I started uni in 1996. I started taxi in 1996. I had my own base in 98. I graduated in 99, did my PGCE, started teaching in the year 2000, started Falcon in the year 2000, and then in the year 2002 I left the whole taxi industry and focused on the insurance world. So I fell into insurance, having no training, having no prior business skills or anything like that. It was just trial and error, and alhamdulillah it worked, because I had the market there. It wasn't there was nothing for me to really do. It's just taxi drivers, and with taxi drivers, particularly Asians, you insure one, you get the whole family. And to the point where underwriters were questioning me, saying, how are you doing so much business in such a short period of time? So I was blessed. But then came Uncle Google in 2012, 13, when Go Compare popped up and stuff like that popped up, and people started taking their business, rather than coming and seeing brokers, they were going online. And at that point, I did struggle, because I'd had no relevant training, by fluke, I could say. 10 years of business were by fluke. But then I struggled, and I got to a point where I was writing my CV, and I was sending
Okay.
my CV to Reed and to various places. And I broke my ankle, so I spent a month in bed. Whilst I spent that month in bed, I was on socials looking around. I looked at the Chamber of Commerce. I looked at a few, and I thought maybe I need to go out. Maybe I need to meet people. And I came across Pathway, and I came across Safraz. And I hopped into my first event, Coffee and Natta, on crutches.
Okay.
And
Which would have made you memorable.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
would have
yeah,
made
yeah.
people remember you. Yeah.
I knew Safraz from before, but not that close.
Yeah.
So I went to the event and I thought, this is really good. I could do this, and I could do it on an evening, and I could do it in a restaurant.
So just from one event.
Yeah.
Just one event.
And
Okay.
luckily, Safraz, who knew me from before, been following me on social media, been following my boxing journey, he had the same thought that this guy seems to be the right guy who can. So we had a call the following day. 2 days later we met, and 6 years next week we launched Shutney and Chat. Networking, all that list that you just read out of everything I do, it's all come from networking. So I cannot advocate networking enough, and it has completely changed my life.
And we met through networking as
Yes,
well,
we
and
met.
and we still outside of network,
Yeah, but this is a prime example. Like, I mean, this is a prime example. You're not my client,
Yeah.
but you're a good friend. Okay, so through networking and through being open to meeting people, it's amazing what can be achieved.
Yeah.
And what we find sometimes, business owners are very isolated and very closed in the way they do things, not prepared to change or learn, which limits them. And I was there, so I can totally relate. And I think I network better because I've been through that whole journey. 15 years, no one could teach me any better. 15 years, no one could tell me that I was wrong. 15 years, I was the man. I had the office, I had the Merc, I had the suit. So we all go through this journey, but then you come to realization that maybe I can learn, maybe there is room for me to develop.
What advice would you give to someone who's never been networking, but actually, so let's say they've just started a business, or they're going to start a business, they realise actually, you know what, I do need to go out to networking. What advice would you give someone starting out, or what would you say to them?
Can I just focus on one of the key benefits for me?
Go on.
I'm sitting here talking to you today,
Yeah.
and I'm talking in this mic. If you asked me to do this 5-6 years ago, there's no way on earth you'd have got me here. I have the biggest stutter, the biggest stammer that you can imagine. Have you ever noticed it when I'm speaking? I speak on stages now. I've learned to deal with it. This has come from networking.
So is that confidence?
Yes, and it come because when I first went networking, I was petrified of even saying hello, because in school I used to say yes miss on the register 4 names before my name, so that it came out in time.
Okay.
Real bad stutter. And the platforms that I've spoken on, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
But if anybody is reluctant to network, you do not know what you're missing, because it's not only about clients. You may not get client. For example, you're not my client. I've known you for 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
But there's value from you. I learn from you. You learn from me. You need to associate and have a circle of friends, of people that will lift you, and that comes from networking. Because anybody that comes networking has that mindset that they want to learn, they want to develop themselves, they want to grow. And that's very important.
See, I find a mixture of people when it comes to networking. I find a mixture of people saying, their mindset being, if I don't get business, there's no point. I don't think you find many people that don't come to networking and think, okay, I'm going to invest a lot of time. If I don't get business, fine, but I get other benefits, like maybe meeting people like yourself, or meeting and getting good friendship or something like that.
For me, business has never been the be all and end all. For me, it's been about personal growth. The personal growth the journey that I've been on through networking, the business automatically, once you grow as a person, your business grows automatically because your mindset changes. But you need to have that environment around you of people that are potentially better than you, that will pull you to their level. And when you go networking, you do meet good, you do meet bad, you do meet all sorts. But majority of people are there. They are people that want to learn. So they will drag you up to their level. Okay? When you personally develop as a person, your business will grow because you start thinking out the box. Business growth is about thinking out the box. You do various things, videos, posts, this, that. You're thinking out the box, and as a result, your business is growing.
But you do it because, again, the reason I did it is you go on networking and you learn from other people. You see what other people do. You speak to people who say, look, I do video, this is the benefit. I do this is the benefit.
Yeah. And for me, so networking, we're learning every single day. And I've been networking 6-7 years now, and I've been to God knows how many events. But you're still learning.
Yeah.
You're still learning. You can never stop learning. So the benefits of networking, and I do meet people like yourself who say, not interested, it's not good for me, it's my sector's too big, my this is that. Well, you know what? That's the wrong attitude. It's the wrong attitude, because the seasoned business owners have a lot to learn from the new up-and-coming business owners.
Mm-hmm.
And the new up-and-coming business owners have a lot to learn from the seasoned business owners. And if they come together, what you can create is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things networking's benefited me is, like you said, it's the mindset of, because what you do is you're talking to people, and by talking to people and you listen to them, you learn from them, your brain just works in a different way, and you actually start thinking something that you might have said. I might see an opportunity that I can do because I've learned from you, I've listened to you, and that's the thing from networking.
And it's because
you get so many other opportunities.
It's because you're mingling with the right kind of people, because all them people in that room or that venue have come for the same purpose as you.
Yeah.
So when we talk about meeting like-minded individuals, that's what we actually mean, because all these people have taken the initiative to leave their homes and come to your event, make that journey and come to them, which means that they've come there to learn. Yeah, you get the drop-offs who came, smashed their card out and didn't find your benefit, and they've gone. But the ones that stay are the ones that want to learn, and those are the ones that will grow you as well.
What would you say to people who say, I don't want to come networking because there's 5 of my same type of businesses, same type of professions there?
Been there, done it. For the 15 years, I spent half of my time chasing my competitors, finding out what they're doing. When I started networking, I learned that, it's not about competition, it's about collaboration. And not about collaboration, you learn from other people how to do your business better. Okay? Your clients are your clients. Your risk is your risk. Right? And me trying to take what's on your plate or what's destined for you ain't gonna happen. But what I can do is learn from you, and what you can do is learn from me. Okay, so you may be in the same sector, you may be in the same industry. There's always a better way of doing your job or being in your profession. And I learnt very, very quickly that I was doing certain things wrong. But again, I go back to the fact that I had no training. I hadn't even worked in an office before. Yeah. So, when you haven't worked in an office before, even ordering stationery is a problem, because you don't know how to do it. As daft as it sounds, if you've never worked in an office environment, classroom to office it just.
I remember one of the first things I got taught when I was doing a business. Okay, purchase orders and all of this sort of stuff. So I'm just like thinking, I'm just there scratching my head. What's a purchase order? And you quickly googling what's a purchase order because you don't want to sound like a numpty.
Exposed to it. Yeah. If you've never been exposed to it, so I was self-taught, and admittedly I was doing a lot of things wrong.
Yeah. One of the things that surprised me, one thing that surprised me in networking is actually people who genuinely want to help you, and some of those people who want to help you, you initially have the mindset of thinking they wouldn't help me because they're potentially a competitor, or there's a little bit of an overlap of what I do and they do.
Yeah.
But I found it really, really, really warm and really welcoming that actually I had people wanting to help, and I believe I do that also. If a new HR consultant comes on, I always try and give them that advice. I never see them as a threat or anything like that. But I know some people wouldn't see it as that. So
the whole networking circuit, and regardless of which networking event you go to or which organisation you're a member of, the whole networking fraternity, what I find, is full of genuine people who are there to support and to learn, and they do it genuinely. I found this. Okay, where we come from, we always look at people with suspicion, what's in it for them or why they're doing this for. But in this whole networking fraternity, you find that people are genuinely there to help. And the best way to learn is to help somebody else. I find that as well. The
Yeah,
best way to
definitely,
learn is to help somebody else.
Yeah, definitely. Because then inadvertently they'll remember you for it.
Yeah.
They'll like you for it.
Yeah.
And when the time comes, they'll
This is it.
help you back as well.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
You know what you've done well, Abid, is what I feel is that you have a community, or you have a following of people. I feel like, whenever I go to your events, you've always got, let's say, a small core of people that are there. Wherever you are, you've got that support. How has that just come through time, or did you do something specific, or did you do something inadvertently that you didn't realize you're doing, but after a while you've just created a community?
As silly as this may sound, we don't do this for financial reward. And I think that has now come out, that we are doing this for genuine reasons, and the genuine reason is to support business owners. Okay. Yes, there is an underlying agenda, which is that we get business out of it. But we don't get any more business than anybody else in the room. We don't charge membership fee. We have no subscription. It is just pure networking without any expectations from the organization's behalf or from the delegates' behalf. And I think that's why it's worked. And then on my events, you've seen I'm there busy trying to connect people. If I see somebody standing there lonely, I'll go and connect them with somebody else who's been a few times. And people have made some great relationships. If not business relationships, they've made some great friends. They've made some they've become part of some really great communities. And I think people now appreciate that. You know what? There is purpose to this guy's madness, right? It's not all about the financials. Financials will come and go. But the personal development and the personal growth is something that is yours and is there to stay. And you can't replace that.
From your experience, Abby, because I know you network in different events, in different organisations, and I know you come across very diverse people. Just from whether it's an Asian background or a Muslim people background, do you find any difference in attitudes from Asians and Muslims towards networking in comparison to everyone else? Do you think that we're more receptive to it, or do you think that we're more sceptical of networking?
I'm an insurance broker. Do I really care what your ethnicity is, what your background is, where you come from, what you do? You've got a business, and for me, you are a client. And if you come to me, I will insure you. And I'm going to say something controversial now. I do have an issue with events that are specific for, let's say, faith. Because from my view, we live in the UK. It's 2021. We're at that event to promote our business. Why should we restrict ourselves to a certain community?
Maybe is it because sometimes so I would say as a couple of reasons. One, maybe society doesn't want a certain faith to possibly blossom. Secondly, maybe we feel a bit more comfortable, because if you're networking and you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable, sometimes we will feel a little bit more comfortable if we go with people we regularly talk to or resonate with.
Okay, in answer to your first point, society may not want some businesses to blossom. How many examples do we have of, let's say, Muslim businesses that are up there? If we are restricted, I think we are restricted by our own thinking. And in answer to your second comment, if we do feel like that, again, we are setting the boundaries. Because you've got me, I'm Muslim. My sons are Hafiz, my daughters are Hafsa. I run a mosque. And if I can go out and meet with the good and the bad and the ugly, then what's stopping anybody else? And you will get that in every society. But I do have slight issue that when we restrict ourselves to certain audiences only, are you actually serious about your business? And it also depends on your product and your service. But do you want your business to grow? And that's the choice.
Is it a confidence thing?
I think yeah. I think why are we scared to step out the box? Why? I just told you I stutter. Last week I was talking at the XL Arena. I could have said, I can't do that. But you've got to challenge yourself. What I always say to people is, wake up every day and do something that you didn't do yesterday. Challenge yourself, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. When you get out of that boxing ring, I'll tell you something now. When you get out of that boxing ring, whether you won or lost, when you've had a good punch up, when you get out there, when the fight finishes, you feel like you've just conquered the world. And it's that boost that keeps me going. And you've seen my energy when I'm speaking on stage. I'm doing 10 press-ups in the backstage just to get my energy up.
Get you psyched up.
But we shouldn't restrict ourselves. We should challenge ourselves to do something every day that we didn't do yesterday. That's the only way you're going to grow.
Okay.
If you sit in a comfortable bubble, it's all over.
I've been really, really fascinating. Really, really fascinating. We're just going to take a short break now. So you're listening to The Business Hour. I'm Umar Rashid, your host. We have today with us Abid Khan as our guest. We're just going to take a short break and inshallah join us, and we'll be exploring more with Abid, and we'll be getting into how he's now moved into the political world as well. Welcome back to The Business Hour here on Unity FM. I'm your host, Umar Rashid, and we have with us today Abid Khan, who's been sharing this in the first half of the show about his journey, how he didn't dream about being in business. He's actually wanted to be a police officer. Can't believe that. Actually, he's qualified as a teacher, which, I actually forgot that about you. I remember you telling me before that you was an RE teacher, but I actually forgot about that. Yeah. You've then moved into boxing, and then how, we talked about how you got into networking, the benefits of networking. I know, Abid, through networking, you've met a couple of people, and I know that these people you consider as a mentor. You've been open about it. I know you've been open about it, that, a few people in your life that you've come across are a mentor. Sometimes people get confused with, okay, what's a mentor, or you're a mentor and a business coach. And I know that, at Wolverhampton Uni, you're a business mentor.
Yeah. So
just for the audience, in your view, what are the differences that you would say between being a mentor, having a mentor, and being a coach and having a business coach?
Okay, so a coach will tell you what to do. A mentor will give you the tools to be able to think for yourself what to do. Give you that perspective, give you that vision, right, for you to be able to think out the box. A coach like my boxing coaches, they say, double jab, right hook, this, that. They tell you what to do, and they can make and you repeat it, you repeat until you're conditioned to do the same move. Whereas a mentor, they won't tell you what to do, but they will give you the tools to develop your mind and open your thoughts and open your horizons so that you can make the right judgment. And I think that's very important, because we can be sometimes very, very closed. We can be oblivious to thinking out of the box. We can be totally blind to what else can be achieved. So yes, I have 2-3 mentors, but you know what, Omar, you're a mentor, okay? Because I learn from everybody around me. It doesn't matter if they're on my level or beneath me. No one's beneath me, because I may be good at something, but you may be better at something else. So no one's above nobody, no one's better than nobody, no one's beneath nobody. But as long as we have this view that we can learn off each other, we're all mentors. We literally all are mentors. I mentor at the university. Sometimes I learn off the students. Sometimes I learn off the students. And a coach is like somebody will say who will say, do this, do it like this. A mentor will say, well, maybe you could do this, or maybe you could do that, but give you the options and give you the tools and give you the bandwidth to be able to think out of the box and take a decision or take a step.
Okay. Would you recommend everyone should have a mentor at least in some point of their
We
life?
all need an accountability partner. We all need a mentor. We all need to. Obviously, there's certain decisions that you take or you make, business decisions or life decisions, where you need a second or third opinion. And like we spoke before, when you go to networking, you find people who are on the similar mindset to you, similar wavelength to you. You need an opinion of a trusted source. So mentor, I think, is very important, because they will guide you in the right way. They'll give you sound advice when you need it the most. And there's been a few occasions. I mean, everything I do, all these things you've listed off. Before I accept anything, before I make any move, there's 3-4 people that I phone. And I won't say that I listen, that I do what they say. I will listen to their views. I'll make my own decision, but I will listen to their views, and their views are qualified views and valued views.
What's the best piece of advice? Because you just mentioned that they give you advice.
Yes.
What is there any particular advice that they've given you that you think actually that's worth sharing and that really kind of touched you, or something that you always remember?
There's so many pearls of wisdom, There's so many pearls of wisdom. It's dependent on the situation. Dependent on the. I mean, you speak about politics. The amount of calls I made when this all occurred, because I was sitting on a fence, and I was told by certain people this, that, this, and I weighed it all up. I made the decision myself. It wasn't anybody else's decision, but however, I had valuable input into that decision making from people that I trust.
You mentioned politics, so that's a nice little segue to go into. So tell me first, how did this opportunity to go into politics come about? Because at the moment, am I right in saying you're looking to become and be voted to be a councillor?
I'm a candidate.
Yeah.
I never ever had any political ambition.
Yeah.
Never dreamt of going into politics. And through networking again, my name was mentioned somewhere. My profiles were checked out, and I had a call. And within 4 hours, I was signed up. Literally, it happened in the space of a day. But before I actually agreed to actually commit to anything, I found a few people, and what I was told, which was very valuable, they said that you're doing all these things anyway. Why not do it from a proper platform? Okay, and my view is that we live in this country. We like to play victim.
So
decisions are made without us being there.
When you say we like to play the victim, who do you mean by we?
Our community.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Our community. Okay. We're not there when the decisions are being made, and once they've been made, we like to hold rallies and protests and take Facebook pictures and do Facebook lives and get famous, but that's not effective. The same reason I joined the IOD and the same reason I'm in the IOD, when they interviewed me, I told them, I said, you're an all white boys club, which seems to be hard to reach for my community. Yet in my community we have some fantastic businesses. We should be part of this organisation. And they actually agreed with me. They goes, you know what, you're right. Right? So in the same way, this step that I've chosen, irrespective of party, irrespective of whose flag you're flying, it's for the betterment of the community. If we're not there on the table where the decisions are being made, do we have any right to moan about it afterwards? Why shouldn't I be on that table? Where am I lacking? I just feel we like to play victim too quick, and I'm totally against that. I'm out there. I'm doing my thing, and I'm prepared to sit with anybody and have a conversation with anybody about anything. I don't care what race they are, what faith they are. Right? They're human. They're no bigger than me. They're no better than me, and that's my view.
So what you're hoping to achieve by moving into politics, is it to give the community? Are you hoping to be the voice of the community?
The community needs voice. Omar, you have children. I have children.
Yeah.
Okay. Our parents came to this country with the dream that they were going to go back home one day. They didn't go back home. They stayed here. We grew up with the dream that maybe our parents will go back home and take us back with them. That ain't going to happen. My kids and your kids, they're not going nowhere. They're here. So it's our duty now, not to leave it to the others, to step in them shoes ourselves and try and make a difference, whatever we feel needs to be done. But if you're not in the organisation, if you're not part of the system, how can you possibly think about making change? And I say this, I had no political agenda. My exposure to politics was really negative, unfortunately. And I had no ambition at all. But when the opportunity presented itself, and in the way and shape it came in, I thought, yes, okay, maybe. Everything happens for a reason.
Listen, I'm listening to you, Abid, and like, firstly, I'm like you. I've got at this moment in time even no interest in politics. I hate it.
Yeah.
So I think, but listening to you, I get where you're coming from, and some of the things you're saying, it's hard to disagree. Do you know what I mean? Especially around, well, there's no point moaning about it. If you're gonna moan about it, you've got an opportunity to make a difference, make a stance, and that's Marshall, that's your intention of doing.
And I think I'm loud enough to be able to do that.
Yeah, I think anyone who knows you will agree with that.
This is not a popularity contest. Alhamdulillah, I'm blessed in that field. This is not about getting famous. Alhamdulillah, my business is doing okay. We need to leave a legacy for our children as well. Children need to remember us for what we do.
Do you think there is a lack of Abid Khans within our community?
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is,
I'm no perfect specimen. Okay,
Yeah.
I've made many mistakes and I continue to make mistakes. I think my problem, some may call it, is that I have no fear of failure. I have no fear of failure, and I think we need more of that, because a failure is not a failure. A failure is an achievement because you just learn something. And if you turn the glass on its head, right, a failure is not a failure for me. I've never failed. I've tried things that haven't worked, I've moved on, but I've taken away valuable lessons.
yes, and that's the thing, isn't it? You learn from it, and it's how you, like you said, someone might have the mindset of, okay, I failed, I'm going to give up, and whatever that is, it's not for me. But
draw from them experiences,
Exactly,
draw from the
yeah.
lessons you've learned from them, because you have learned from them. Draw from them and move on. Sitting there and dwelling is going to take you into mental depression, and it's not going to do you any good. Move on. And that's where sometimes your support network comes in, where we all have bad days, but sometimes just a conversation with certain people will pick you up and you're back rearing to go again.
do you think there's an issue with people within our community to strive to be in, let's say, political positions or in certain positions within organisations? And this might be general, even you look at general employment. Do you think there's a lack of ambition or a fear of people from our communities to go into high senior positions to go and make a difference? Or do you think that actually society is still pulling us down, that there still are barriers for people from our community?
We restrict ourselves. Okay, I've heard this from many people. Oh, we're Asian, we can't get in. Or there's races. Or I'm Muslim, I'll never get in. Well, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I got into the IOD. I'm a senior board member. I'm affiliated to a mainstream political party. So if I can do it, why can't you? Stop playing the victim. Stop playing the victim. We need to stop playing the victim. We bang on that trumpet on that drum too much, right? It's down to yourself. And I'll be honest with you. I've had I have conversations all the time. Sometimes the non-Asians, they're scared to say certain things because they don't know what to say. Sometimes we've never educated them about this is how you should treat, right? And yet we're quick to play the race card or play the victim card. And I've had some really deep conversations with certain people, and I feel sorry for them sometimes. So when it comes to playing victim, within our own communities we have challenges. We have discrimination within our own communities. And when all that fails, then we start playing victim to the mainstream. Yes, there is flaws. I'm not saying the system's perfect, but we need to change our mindsets.
Do you think there's enough there that with the right mindset, the right attitude, people from our community can?
I think it's going to take people like me and you to lead the way. I'll be honest with you.
I don't know about politics. I know what you mean.
It's not only politics, but
yeah.
listen, when you do something positive and you do something good, people watch you. And people think, well, if Omar can do that, why can't I do it? So since I've made my announcement, you'll be amazed at how many calls I've had from opposition, from various other sectors saying, we're coming that way as well. It takes one to start things to happen, and then people start thinking, well, there must be something there. I mean, I'm not daft. I didn't just do it for the sake of doing it. There's a purpose behind me doing it. So when people look between the lines and start reading the small print, they think, okay, maybe he's right. But yes, I totally appreciate we do have some setbacks. But I think a lot of our setbacks are within ourselves.
So what's the actual process? Is it that you're now looking to be elected onto?
Yeah, we have the elections in
April, May, isn't it?
May.
Yeah.
So the campaigning will start, inshallah, after December in January. If I get the seat, brilliant. If I don't get the seat, which is a high possibility.
Would you stop there, or would
No.
Is this now something that you're?
Yes, I
focused on?
And again, before I took the decision, I weighed up a lot of things. For me, it's not just about that one seat. I'm not after publicity. I'm not after being known as Councillor Sob. I'm about making a difference, and I'm very passionate about making a difference for my kids. If anything, for my kids, if we don't step into these positions now, then what future have our kids got? We're living in a society which is volatile at the moment. There's all sorts of challenges faced by particularly our community. We need to be on the tables when the decisions are being taken. So it's not all about being Councillor Saab or MP Saab. It's about being part of the system where these things are happening.
How far is your aspiration? Dare I say, Abid, could you become the mayor of Birmingham or mayor of West Midlands in the future?
I don't dream too big. I don't have no aspirations. I live for the day.
Yeah.
But I do certainly make the best out of every day. Whatever opportunity presents itself to me, I make the most of that. I'm not thinking, all I know is I wake up tomorrow, opportunities present themselves to us every single day. And they come to everybody. It's how you read them. And once you've read them, what you do with them.
Will this change you in any way, in the sense of...
I'll ask you in 6 months' time.
Yeah. But what I mean is, like, are you already conscious of, okay, if I'm going to have a political career, more and more eyes are going to be on me, more and more people are going to be looking at what I do. Are you already possibly conscious of, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this, or maybe I shouldn't do that, or are you just going to be like, no, this is
for
me?
a very long time. I don't think I could have more eyes on me than I have already.
Yeah.
There's no part of the world that I can go to without being recognised, which is not a good thing. And I seriously mean that. It's not a good thing. Politically, you have to be sensitive about certain things when you speak about certain things. But then again, my role at the Quality Council UK, I have to be sensitive about certain things. My role with the IOD, I have to be sensitive about certain things. You probably noticed my social media's changed dramatically over the past 6 months. But that's all part of growing. It's not because I'm scared of saying something. It's because we grow every day, we learn every day, and maybe the stuff I was saying before wasn't the appropriate stuff to say. So it's part of growing.
Do you see yourself as a role model to other Muslims?
Inshallah, yes. I do.
Yeah.
I'd like to be. I'd like to think I am. You get one shot at life. Take it with both hands and give it everything you got. Give it everything you got. You spoke about how do you do all these things.
Yeah.
I'm human. I have the same 2-3 meals a day like you, right? I'm going to play football tonight at 9 o'clock. I get my gym in, I get my football in, and I do all my activities. So if I can do all that, and I can be a father, and I can be a husband, and I can be a son, and I can be a brother. So if I can do all that, and I'm posting every hour on my social media. If I can do all these things, then why can't you? I just don't understand it.
Just on your social media, I do love your creativity on social media. How do you, again, is it a combination of inspiration from someone else, or is it just something that you just think yourself?
It's sheer. Yeah. I've given my social media to other people in the past, and it just doesn't work. The spontaneous inspiration you have.
Yeah, you give it to someone else, you lack.
Yeah, it's not you.
The authenticity.
So sometimes I'm driving and I'll see a billboard or something, or I'll see something. I'll think, interesting. I'll pull over.
Yeah.
I'll do the post. I'll put it up there, and those are the posts that you see that get the most traction. So it's about being yourself. I am a bit out of the box. But yeah, it's not inspired by any one thing or any one person. It is me. Sometimes I'm pushing the boundaries, let's just say, but it gets noticed, and that's the key. Because if it's polished, no one sees it. If it's a bit different, like I done one yesterday where I done it upside down, people spotted that. Or sometimes you'll note I put capital letters in weird places. People spot that. But guess what? They've seen my post. They've seen my post, so my mission has been accomplished. The fact is, you see my post.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay. Someone who's listening and is either hesitant to come networking, hesitant to get themselves out the box, hesitant to be themselves, what would you say to them? Yeah.
This has happened many times. I've had people coming and they've messaged me from downstairs. I'm scared to come upstairs. Honestly, I've had this. I've had people standing in the car park message me saying, I'm scared to come in. They've come, they've taken that, they've watched my videos, they've thought, yeah, I'm going. And then as they're coming, the anticipation's got the better of them. And then they've come downstairs and they froze.
Yeah.
So I've gone downstairs, chaperoned them upstairs and brought them upstairs and introduced them to someone like yourself or somebody who comes regularly. And within seconds, it's like they're part of the family. The people that go networking have gone there to network. They've gone there to meet people. No one judges nobody. There's no wrong question. There's nothing that you can ask which is stupid. Because what may be a challenge for me may be something very easy for you. And what may be a challenge for you may be something very easy for me. We all have our own experiences. We all have our own knowledge. So honestly, feel free and just go and just try it. And you've been networking. I mean, have you ever felt intimidated or scared?
You know, the first event I went to Avid, right? The first event I went to, the person who invited me, I just clung on to them. I look back now. I met you at that first event I ever went to. I met a couple of other people, and I remember meeting someone who I now know quite well. They wouldn't remember me, but I remember that I just did not know how to speak to them. Yeah. Did not know what to do. I just had a card, did not know how to give it to them.
Look how far you've come
exactly, now. And I'd be the first advocate.
So we are both on the same, from the same background. But look how far you've come. And then you had, you had the sense to. I think we met after that, didn't we? We met at
Star City.
At Star City, yeah. So, it's no one's there to bite you. No one's there to offend you. No one's there to insult you. They are there. Maybe not to teach you, but they're there to learn from you.
Yeah.
So just by that connection, you've got a friend.
Abid, finally, how can people get in touch with you?
Instagram, Abid_inspires. Facebook, Abid Khan. Just Google Chutney and Chat. Google Abid Khan. My website is www.abidinspires.com. Just Google my name.
Massive thank you.
No, thank you
for coming on the show today. I mean, this hour's just flown by, and I know I could speak to you even more and more. I'm sure we could get into this even more, but massive thank you. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me, and you know what, my message to the audience is, if you are in business, it's very important to go out and meet people. Just do it. Just do it. You'll thank me for it, and make sure you do dua for me when your businesses are soaring.
Yeah, inshallah, Abid. Wish you all the very best. May Allah make it easy for you. You've been listening to the Business Hour with Abid Khan today. Another inspirational guest, and that's what the Business Hour is about. So again, if you missed this episode and you want to listen to any of the other episodes, please do so on my YouTube channel at Umar Rashid HR. Again, connect with me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Umar Rashid HR. Inshallah, tune in next week. We'll be back again next week, next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, with another fantastic guest. So until then, inshallah, take care and Assalamu alaikum.
Ba-da-da-da.